Hi there, I'm UUJ, and welcome to another episode of our podcast. Today I'm remembering a conversation from yesterday, and my head is just spinning around. I wonder about. So the conversation was about Catholicism and how it's changed in our lifetimes. It was another gentleman at church about my age at a Unitarian Universalist congregation. He is, I won't give a lot of detail about him because I don't have his permission to share the story. But we're talking about Catholicism and sharing some of our experiences and what we remember about our experiences of Catholicism and how it's changed. So from our upbringing to our later midlives, God willing, midlives. And I was telling him about my first graduate school that I went to was for education. And I went to a Catholic university in Scranton, Pennsylvania. And because I look younger than I am, hopefully that's still true, I, despite being like 23, 24 years old, looked like I could be a freshman at college. And I lived in the freshman sophomore dorm. And I started in January. In my second year there, I was an RA. And I had a floor of gentlemen to myself. Catholic institution, not going to have co-ed floors. Unlike my undergraduate school, where women lived on both sides of me, we shared bathrooms, etc. The Catholic university, about a third of those men came to me privately, one-on-one, and outed themselves as gay. And which seemed like a really high percentage to me. And I think what I have learned that even in that time frame, as it sort of was like the beginning of me being a bit of an 10% of the population might be LGBTQ. Good statistics because people could hide that information and it was dangerous to share that information about oneself. So, that 33% of any given population would come tell me that they were not straight was a little surprising, especially at a Catholic institution where that is frowned upon. So I remember one day kind of walking across campus, looking up and seeing the monastery at the top of the hill and merging a thought that I had with me from the movie Saved, if you've ever seen it. If you haven't, please do. It's a 2004 film with Mandy Moore, Macaulay Culkin, Mary Louise Parker, some other bigger names. But one of the scenes brought to mind was it's set in a high school. So the main characters are youth, and it's a Christian high school. And one of the boys is discovered to be gay. And his parents immediately ship him away to an institution to get fixed. And later in the movie, you have him talking with the main character was his girlfriend, ironically. He's telling her that it's not all bad here because he's looking at his roommate, and his roommate is this really cute other guy. So to help cure him of his homosexuality, they locked him up with other homosexual men, which seems perhaps counterintuitive or counterproductive. Yes. So this played in my brain as I'm walking across campus and looking up at the monastery and thinking about priests and all the trouble that the Catholic Church had had with pedophilia and all the lawsuits and sexual improprieties, immoralities, abuse, and this sort of clicking that if one discovers themselves to be gay, attracted to the same sex, and also loves God, is a Christian person, wants to be a good person, is told that this is a sin about them, it would make sense that they might choose a life of celibacy and service to God and therefore commit themselves to priesthood or being a nun. I have no statistics also on this. It's sort of been really ironic, right? The monastery on the hill seems like a place of the most perfect behavior, right? And there might be nuns up there making out with each other. And if there are seminaries where priests are going to school, humans don't stop being sexual, right? You're always going to have that going on. And if you're around people that you find super attractive, you're going to likely be provoked or tempted, and it's going to be difficult to manage. So I could see where there might be some breakdowns in communities of priests, communities of nuns. I am not accusing them of anything. I don't personally think there's anything wrong with it. It's what is healthy behavior has a lot more to do with how we respect one another and communicate with one another than what gender either one of us are or how we identify or who we're attracted to, right? The important thing is that we treat each other with respect, do the right thing. But since there's no data, do you have any information about this? What's your experience? Don't tell other people's stories. Even if you think you can mask it enough, I don't want to risk that. But what can you say about this? And a good place to have the conversation is at Be Kind Humans. That's bekindhumans.com. Be Kind Humans is where people are nice to each other, even when they disagree, right? We're trying to be nice, good, kind people. So go there, have a convo, be inspired, be inspiring.